purpose of we are creating in the world, the purpose of whack in the world, is that it creates a better world, a more beautiful world, to use the words of Charles Eisenstein, the more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. And see, when I'm having a conversation with somebody and I'm helping them to be free, to come from love, to make a bigger impact in less time, to create what they want, so to speak, on the surface, like first order, like it is fulfilling to help a person get what they want, help them be free and get what they want. What's even more fulfilling, what's even more satisfying, gratifying is when they come back to me and say, wow, this way of being that I've created has impacted my family this way, the people at my job this way. I call that the secondary impact. Those are my favorite stories to receive, really, because it's the ripple effect. In fact, I remember when I was a little kid, I used to go into the pond in the woods behind our house, and I'd throw rocks out into this very still pond. The water was as still as this. Sorry, my wife's running the Vitamix for the kids' smoothie. I don't know if that's loud for you. Anyway, I'd throw them into the pond, and it would just ripple out, and I would love watching the ripples, especially that first throw, right, from stillness to ripples. But then, when I would leave, right before I'd leave, I'd take a big stone or a medium-sized stone and I'd throw it as hard as I could, as far as I could, as high as I could, and I'd turn around and I'd run up the path so that I would be gone before it hit the water. Why did I do that? And this just came to me once when I was thinking of the word legacy. I didn't really identify with the idea of me wanting to be known for leaving an impact, but I do have that desire to know that I made a difference, even if it's not doesn't have my name on it or anything like that, but to know that I made a difference in the world, that I'm affecting the world in some way. And so this is what I call the tertiary impact of the work that I do when I'm in conversation with anybody. And now when people are in conversation in the We Are Creating community, is the impact that is happening without me being there, without anybody knowing that it was me. That's the tertiary impact. That impact that goes not just from you out into the people that you know, but through them into the world. Because it does ripple. Everything ripples. Everything ripples. Everything we be, everything we do ripples. And so we're all throwing stones into still water all the time. And what are those ripples? And so if there are ripples of freedom, love, and power to create what we would love in the world, then what I think that's creating is a mosaic of people living lives that are an expression of their heart. And when a person creates, even just take it for one person, I have this very simple idea that when you make every decision based on what would you love and what would be an expression of love, then what happens is all of the results that come from those immediate decisions and those actions that come from that, the results of that have love in it. The structure that unfolds from that action is love, and that love feeds back into the system of you. And so you start to create a life where everything in your life, everything you're surrounded by, every person in your life is an expression of love, and then you're receiving love back from that because that's the structure that you've built. So on a single person level, you can understand it. But when you are being that way and it's inspiring others to be more free, to be more loving, and to make a bigger difference in less time, what happens is that is a structure that starts to extend not just out of you and around your life, but out of them and around their life, and you can see how it ripples out. And so the more people you have, very simply, being free, coming from love, making a bigger difference in less time, having more power, you create a world that's a reflection and expression of that. And so the purpose of Whack in the world is to have a world where people are more free, more loving, and able to create what they would love, they see in their inspired heart much more quickly, be that some material thing in the world, be that some relationship dynamic, be some vitality or health or whatever it is. They're able to do that more quickly, more effectively, through and from love because they're free. And that creates a better world. That creates a more beautiful world. There's no more struggling in dichotomies and fighting over things. We can either fight or we can F-U-C-K. We can either go to war or we can make love. And there's destruction and creation. And I know all of it has to exist, but isn't it nice? Isn't it nice when it can come through pleasure instead of through pain? So much that we create can be created through pleasure instead of pain, through love instead of fear. That's the purpose of Whack in the world. So I invite you to join us. Thank you for listening. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.